NHL 23's Men's Team of the Year has been released, and in this video, we are going to break down which ones you should go after in which order. Now, I need to preface this by saying all of these cards are literally the best at their position, so when I say one is better than the other, it's more than likely going to be due to circumstance. We're going to talk about the best ways to acquire them for no money spent, the guys that spend money, the most effective ways to get them quickly, and show you some gameplay of each of the ones that I've used. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel for the most up-to-date news, tips, and info for NHL 23. Let's get into it. Again, guys, do not take what I say as gospel. If you have a favorite player card that you like using, make sure you always go with that, please. This is merely a guide for the player that is looking for a little bit of info from someone that has used almost all of these cards. I also want to be transparent. There is two I did not use. One is Roman Josi, the other is Igor Shesterkin. I will be making them both, but I wanted to get this video out sooner rather than later because I think a lot of people are going to rush to make their decision on Team of the Year. All right, but let's start with Igor Shesterkin. He would be ranked 6th in my opinion. Goaltenders always will never win you games solely because of the goalie. It is going to be determined 99% of the time by the way you play defense and offense, and every once in a while a goalie will steal you a game. However, in NHL 23, with the introductions of human goalie animations, it has absolutely bricked the position. Now when a goalie tries to make a routine save, it will sometimes just fly up, hit their glove, and they'll throw it in their own net. Sometimes they'll lie down when you are behind the net, allowing your opponent to just walk out and score. It's an absolute disaster, so I want to preface that first. When it comes to the actual card, this is an incredible card. 72 aggression, 92 speed, and literally every good ability that you could put on a goaltender. Butterfly effect, I think, would be the best zone ability to put on a goaltender, but because so many cards have phenomenal abilities this year, they have really figured out which ones impact the game the most and make cards most intriguing. It's very difficult to throw a lot of ability points in the goaltending position. He's got great synergies though. He's got 2 separate skating ones, which is huge for your team, as well as also double the synergies. Like I said, all in all, this is the best goaltender in the game right now, but if you can only make one or you're going to make them all and you wanted to know which order to make them in, Igor would be last for all of the reasons I'd mentioned. This is essentially the best backup goalie in the game at some point down the road just because of the double synergy slot. All right, now before I get into ranking the skaters, again, I want to talk about the situations because I think it is different for everyone, and simply ranking them 1 to 6, I don't think is the correct way to do it. If you have an X Factor that is all the way upgraded, you should go ahead and finish it. Now, why I say that is because the drastically reduced cost by trading into the fully upgraded X Factor. If you already have it done going into this event, I would recommend ignoring all the other rankings and cards that I would suggest and getting those done because it is so expensive, especially if you're no money spent. Getting 23 of these Team of the Year collectibles is still going to cost you about 550,000 coins at the going rate. That is a ton. If you were to build them from scratch, you're looking at about 900,000 coins, almost a million to make each one from scratch. So if you've got one where you can get a card that's going to hit 99, these are all guaranteed to be 99 at some point in the game, go ahead and do it. Don't overthink it. All right, so with that being said, however, Roman Josi would be the 5th card that I would make. He would rank number 5. And again, the only scenario in which I would make him no matter what is if I had his X Factor all the way upgraded. Please, before you just start freaking out in the comments, understand that he is the best left-handed defenseman currently in the game. He's got 2 skating synergies. He can throw Protector on to get his body checking up higher. Like, don't overthink that. Gold 1T, however, is A, expensive at 6 points, but B, my man Junior Pens. And if you know who that is, he has been one of the best players in this game for the better part of 5 years now, is someone who has always prided himself on being the best at D-to-D one-timer. He tried about 55 to 60 last night. He had 2 cleanly go in. It just does not appear that Gold 1T, even on a left-hander this year, is going to significantly give you a chance to score regularly from the point. Does it hurt? No. But is it worth 6 points? Absolutely not. Unstoppable Force is an interesting one. However, I don't think he has the speed to make it useful on a defenseman. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Stick him up is a great ability, especially in Silver. Seeing Eye, I personally have loved, and I'm seeing more and more evidence of it really impacting the game. And then Elite Edges is also great. I like it on defense as well, because you're able to make those cuts with players that have 99 agility. But when you compare him to all of the other cards, right now, he's not better than all of the other skaters, and his abilities I don't think are worth worth the 550,000 coins you'd have to make if you had his X Factor, or just the 900 if you had to make him straight up. All in all, a great card, but he would be the 5th skater if I were to rank them all. Okay, next, again, this is why I don't like doing 1 to 6 ranking. I'm gonna put the next 4 in all situational settings, okay? Cale Makar's card is unbelievable. Also, Cale Makar's card, that's extremely hard to say. I have loved using this card so far. He is on my God squad. I made him immediately with his X Factor. The speed that you get from breaking out of the zone, straight lining on a diagonal from one corner to the other, and then making a cut at the blue line is very advantageous. I tried using Unstoppable Force with him, and because I like to throw tip shots on the net, you have to be very careful when you play that strategy, because if players start to bump you and you lose the puck at the blue line, that's usually a breakaway against. I was able to hold onto the puck even though Cale Makar is only 5'11", 187. I personally love seeing eye, and while he doesn't get truculence, he gets shutdown. And shutdown, while it is not a perfect ability, meaning that it doesn't activate at all times, obviously it works off the rush, it does work even when you're just in the defensive zone, and it helps with bodying people off the puck, your poke check, all of it. And then he's got elite edges. The elite edges is where it's very difficult, because even though we are at 50 ability points, 8 on a defenseman is tough, but it is still worth it if you don't have, you know, an absolute loaded team where you've got abilities just bursting on every single card. It is still a phenomenal ability. Like I said, you're able to walk everyone from your own zone all the way, coast to coast, butter and toast. He's a 99 speed or acceleration player, and with his next upgrade, he's probably going to hit that 99 or become very close to it. I threw Gladiator as well as Protector on and got his body checking up even higher. Just an all-in-all phenomenal card. If you are looking to make one defenseman, Cale Makar would be it, and I wouldn't be too worried because he's small. All right, the forwards, this is an extremely difficult decision, and I'm almost nervous to give my takes on it because I don't want to make the wrong one. I understand that there is a lot of my following that is only going to be able to make 1, maybe 2 of these Team of the Year cards, and I really, truthfully never want to get it wrong for you guys. Now, I've played about 4 or 5 games with all 3 of these. I've played some GWC games, some Hut Champs games, so they weren't easy. This is all going to come down to this situation. If you have all 3 of these players' X Factors and you've got them maxed out, Auston Matthews is 1000% the one, in my opinion, that you need to make, because the other 2 have great X Factors regardless. Auston Matthews' X Factor is not worth the upgrade points because he's not a great skater in game, and he doesn't have a lot of skating synergies. He has the 1 on his X Factor, but he also doesn't have any good abilities on his X Factor. This Team of the Year card is the prototype center in NHL 23. He's got 2 skating synergies in which he gets double points for, meaning that his acceleration right now is 93, and speed down at 92. He also comes with Thief as his 3rd synergy slot, which as a center makes him that much more impactful. I love Quick Draw, and I really think that you guys should try and get Quick Draw on 1, maybe 2 of your centermen, because if you are elite on the draw, you have a high face-off rating. I very rarely lose with those types of players. Now, I've been testing him out with Unstoppable Force and elite edges, and I have noticed his skating. He's very easy to come out from the corners and go back and forth, left and right, and he doesn't get bumped off the puck when you have Unstoppable Force and, you know, a 6'3", 208 player. Close quarters is probably his best ability, because his shot is different. It is just built different in this game. There is no way to quantify it, but Auston Matthews cards always have better shots than their stats indicate. And if you really wanted to go overboard, you could throw Shutdown on, and that basically gives him a little bit of truculence or the ability to knock everyone off the puck in his defensive zone. No Contest was interesting. Now, this is more of a 6v6 EASHL ability. It hasn't really been impactful in Hockey Ultimate Team last year. This year, however, because you knock the puck free, let's say you pocheck someone, and there's this like half second where both players are trying to get the puck back. 9 times out of 10, your opponent will just get the puck back after it's knocked off a stick, which is why I think Stick 'em Up has kind of a hit or miss ability right now. But you're able to get every single loose puck, especially in and around your net. So I have found some utility with it. I played, I believe, 2 games with it, and I definitely noticed it in those puck battles when you're really not pochecking or going for a hit. You're both just kind of fighting for it a little bit. It just all in all makes him an unbelievable card. And at 99, this is going to be the best. Of all of the 3 cards that we've got, in my opinion, I think the 99 Auston Matthews is going to be the best one. All right, now on to Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon. And again, I'm going to give you the situation in which I think that you should should make either one of them in the order that I think you should do it. If you have both of their X Factor, Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon, I would make Nathan MacKinnon's team of the year. While Nathan MacKinnon's X Factor is so good because he is so fast and his attributes are great, his abilities aren't all that effective either. This thing is ridiculous. Gold unstoppable force on this card. In the games I used him, he just never loses the puck. I had elite edges on him, and you don't even really need it. It's just so good. He's got silver no contest, which can help with those pickups, and I didn't even use close quarters. The fact you sprinkle on truculence means that in the defensive zone, you could just knock everyone off the puck. And because the wingers cover the points when you're in your own zone, anyone that holds onto the puck for a slight little bit, you can bump them with truculence, and good luck trying to catch this card after you've lost it at your own blue line. Now, his third synergy slot does have Thief as well, so it gives you some utility because you can play him at center. I think his abilities and his attributes all play much better on the wing, but you can play him on center. So far right now, this has been the card that I've noticed the most when I'm playing the game. All right, and then on to the case of Connor McDavid. All right, again, I'm trying to do this situationally, guys, as opposed to just ranking them all. If you do not have Connor McDavid's X Factor, so you don't have his X Factor, you don't really have any other card, you need to have a Connor McDavid card that will upgrade throughout the year because he's faster than his stats indicate. He's just different. So if you do not have Connor McDavid's X Factor, I would make his team of the year. That would be the one I would make over everyone. That is a situation in which I would go out and get Connor McDavid. And I talked to this before. This is a 99 skater. There is only 2 players, I believe, in the game that have 99 speed, and Connor McDavid is now one of them. He's got 97 acceleration, 98 agility, he's max skater, and it's January 7th. His third synergy, again, will allow you to put Thief on him, so you can play him at center. I love elite edges. I don't even think he needs it. Close quarters as well as unstoppable force is a phenomenal combo if you wanted to go that route. You have to understand, guys, this is already maxed out essentially, but he is guaranteed to be 99 and probably 99 before everyone else just because he scores 5 points a game in real life. All right, now let's talk about another scenario. Let's say you have Connor McDavid's X Factor, but not MacKinnon or Matthews. I would build MacKinnon and Matthews over trading in from scratch, full price, rather than spend half the cost to get McDavid from his X Factor to his team of the year, and here is why. Connor McDavid's X Factor, if you have it, is already one of the best cards in the game. You guys gotta remember that X Factors got jumped up to 92 when their team of the year cards came out, meaning that he still has Thief, which is 90 faceoffs, and Gladiator, get his body checking up even higher, but he's got 97 speed and 97 acceleration, but he also has gold wheels. Now, I've talked about wheels a lot, and personally, I don't like activating it because I have such a good team that it's very hard to spread around ability points when you have 10, 20% on one card. But after talking to some of the best players in the community, I'm starting to change my tone on it, and gold wheels might make this card just as impactful. Now, obviously, you're going to have to keep upgrading and paying the cost to upgrade this Connor McDavid, but I would rather do that than have his team of the year and not have Nathan MacKinnon or Auston Matthews. I think that would be the better route to go. And if you don't believe me, guys, here's a little teaser from the next podcast coming out from the best player in Europe.
And I have the X Factor McDavid. I thought about exchanging that to the team of the year, but I actually think I like the X Factor more because he has the gold wheels.
There we go.
Padres big on that.
Wheels.
But just my overall thoughts, guys, in a vacuum, I would probably make the 3 forwards before anyone else, before any of the defensemen and Igor Shesterkin. I just think that these guys have such an impact on the game every time they hop over the boards or you start out like an offensive or defensive zone draw with them. I've only played a few games with them, but they've been so impactful already. All right, now I want to talk about some of the sets because I think this is important to go over. There is a set where you can trade in 35 Team of the Year collectibles and you will get a 1 of 2 choice pack. Here is the danger, because if you did this 35, there is a chance that you could get Igor and Yossi. Now, both of them are fine. Again, best players at their position. But if you spend an extra 5, which is going to be about 100,000 coins at the current cost, you will get to choose. I never trust gambling when it comes to EA Sports because you're always going to lose. So just I would rather not do this set, even if you are no money spent. Speaking of creating the cards, again, I just want to go over, there are 3 currently in terms of collectibles that you can get for free, and they are not that difficult to acquire. Make sure that if you are no money spent, even if you're not, this is about a 50,000 coin savings by just doing all of these objectives, and it won't take you very long if you just play squad battles on rookie. 2-minute periods, you can get it done pretty quickly. There's 2 in the objectives, and then another one in the Team of the Year challenges once you get the challenge 5. All right, now I want to talk about the auction house because I need to bring this up. I mentioned in my deep dive of the event, if you have no ability to make Team of the Year cards, that is fine. I would be taking advantage, however, of the team builders and trying to finish off team builders. If you go and sort by NHL players and then overall rating and then down to buy now, you'll see that these cards are going for the cheapest they have been in quite some time. Everyone is trying to get rid of their collections to try and make Team of the Year. So if I had just started the game, what I would try and do is make enough of the 89 team builders so I can make Jay Beagle, for example. That is where I would spend my focus over the next week if you have no interest and have no way possible to get a Team of the Year card. However, if you are going to make some of the Team of the Year cards or you're trying to make one, make sure you check the auction house first, because if it's going to cost you 900 to 950,000 coins to make a Team of the Year card untradeable, just make sure that you're not giving up the potential to get one that is tradable, like this Shesterkin here. If I was going to make Shesterkin, I would just rather go and buy it for 900,000 coins in the event that I want to trade it in. But there's really no point in getting them tradable because these are all going to be 99 overall cards by the end of the year. But I just want you guys to keep that in mind. As the week goes along, the price will drop as new packs and events come out on Wednesday and Thursday, right before the event stops. Once the event stops, guys, these cards will not go below 1 million. Last year, they spiked, so just be aware of that. If you do find a couple maybe decent buys in their 800s, like the 800, 900,000 range, maybe if you're a millionaire in HUT, maybe grab a couple and wait for the event to be done. All right, guys, so there you have it. That is my rankings of Team of the Year. I hope this helps. If it didn't, please let me know any questions that you have in the comment section down below, and I will do my best over the next couple days to try and get them answered for you. Thank you, everyone, for all of the support. I can't wait to launch my HUT database website on January 13th, as I really think it's going to be a good resource for the community. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Have a good one.